Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with another mini set card review, and today we have a bunch of shaman cards, including a 5-mana 10/10, like legit 5-mana 10/10, and a card that can like evolve, change cards into basically any legendary from the past. We're gonna go over all these cards, and if you want to win these cards, we're giving away 3 mini sets out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, linked down in the description, one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until the 14th, I will add another mini set to that giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So let's start off with the biggest 5-drop, I believe, in Hearthstone history. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is the Rocket Hopper, a 5-mana 10/10 beast. It has Rush, and there is a downside. It has Overload 4. Overload 4. So you're basically paying 9 mana for an Ice Howl, right? This is kind of like an Ice Howl. You can remove the Overload, you know, you can play that 1-mana tradable spell. There's some cards in Wild you can do that as well. But in today's game, would you play, I'm even curious, would you play a 5-mana 10/10 Rush? No Overload, probably, but that's the way the game is, right? Like, so many things just die for whatever that I would even feel safe playing a 5-mana 10/10 Rush. Obviously, this is an amazing evolve target, right? You evolve your 4 into a 5, you get a 10/10. That's nuts. It's Mukla, right? Speaking of 10/10s that don't see a ton of play, although it sees play because you can cheat it out. Other than that, I really don't know what you're going to do with this card other than like evolve into it. I just think the Overload kind of kills it. You could do like an Overload Shaman thing and do some damage, again, with that tradable spell. But overall, yeah, I don't think it's that great. The Overload 4 is just detrimental. You play this on 5, the next turn you have like no mana to work with. And yeah, you got a big body, but again, in today's game, is it really that hard to remove massive stats? Everyone's scamming giant stats and to do things and kill you and get you out of their cards. Probably not seeing it, but yeah, pretty crazy, pretty cool. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, a 2 out of 5 in wild, but yeah, a big 5-mana 10/10. Next, we have a really good Murloc, in my opinion. The Murloc Growfin, a 1-mana 1/1 Murloc, so it's already in a mini format. However, it is Gigantify, or again, how do you even pronounce that? A Battle Cry. You summon a tiny fish with Rush in stats equal to this minion. So you hand buff this, you can actually get like a 2/2, a 3/3, a 4/4, or whatever, right? Whatever the stats are, you can actually utilize. So like Wish Upon a Star would actually give you a bit of a boost. But of course, getting that 8-mana 8/8 version, the gigantic version, will right away get you an 8-mana 8/8 plus an 8/8 with Rush. So that's pretty darn effective. So you have an early just 1-mana 2/2 Parvis Rush. That's a solid early token card. No complaints on that. And then you have an 8-mana 16/16. Half of it has Rush. Really good card. You pick this in Arena, you're gonna love it. I think this could easily slot into like a Reno Shaman. Just some early game. It's got the Wish Upon a Star, which is already seeing play, especially with the Hagatha buff and all of that. It's a really good card that helps you fight for board and eventually just get a bunch of stats, and you can shutter block this, the big one, shutter block it, and then get, what, 3 giant Murlocs? Like, it's a legit card. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 in standard. I think it's really solid, and I think Highlander decks will really like this card. I don't know what else it really goes into. Murloc deck's not really a thing right now and all of that. And in Wild, probably a 2. I don't think you're playing this in like Shutterwalk Shaman. The Battle Cry doesn't really help you out that much there anyways. And again, the 8-mana version is just going to take too long for it to ever matter in Wild. But absolutely, I think this is a really solid standard card, and I really like the Highlander Shaman archetype, so I'm looking forward to that popping in. And then lastly, we have like the craziest evolve spell I think I've ever seen. I mean, it just is. It's the Wave of Nostalgia, a 5-mana nature spell, so you can discover it in like the Flexes card. It's that you can get that from there. And what does this card do? Well, it's similar to the Terrible Excavate reward that you don't want to play outside of the arena these days. You transform all minions, so I am assuming that includes the board, your hand, and your deck, into random legendary ones from the past. So you can play OG Shutterwalk and Shaman again. You can get that in your hand. You can get Grumble. You can get Zola. If you're running the new Serenite Chain Gang, you can legitimately do the Shutterwalk combo if you're lucky on that, right? Because all those cards are wild legendaries, but it's not just going to be shaman legendaries. It can be mage, warlock, any classes legendaries, as long as it's a wild legal card and not in standard. I don't know how it'll factor in like core set stuff. For example, like Kalamos is like core set, but it's also wild. I feel like you probably could get Kalamos as an example. But overall, is this going to be a competitive card? I cannot see a universe where this is a competitive card. We've already seen with like evolving it to minions of like 3 or more, that card, that reward has not been worth much of anything in standard or wild. It's only kind of okay in arena, and even there it's got a bit of a downside. This comes with no mana cheat. It is just purely legendary minions, and it's actually cheaper than the Stormbringer, which saw play and was okay on token decks, but that only hit the board, and that for the most part was a positive because you wanted to keep the cards, you know, that your deck is built around and all that. This hits everything. I feel like turning your board into random legendaries could be absolutely fine. I don't know about turning your hand and deck into it, but again, Stormbringer saw play, and it was one more mana than this, and it was a legendary. Man, times change and all that, but overall, I'm gonna give it a 2. Just for the off chance that, yeah, just building a board of random legendaries is somehow good enough to not be complete and utter garbage. Like, maybe that has a chance. It probably doesn't. But yeah, I'll give it a 2 in standard, and in wild, it is odd cost, so we can bring out our odd shaman and turn totems into legendaries, and I don't know about that. But yeah, wild, I don't see it. We got Toki and stuff in wild, although this is way better than Toki. Toki's never seen play in any format ever. But yeah, I'll give it a 1 for wild. And if you're looking at arena though, by the way, look out for this. Random legendaries in arena could be pretty good. Could be a lot of value. You never know with that. So you might want to pick an arena. I'm certainly going to have some fun drafts. They better offer this in arena. I'll be very disappointed if we can't do that. So there you go. That's all the shaman cards. There's 2 more reveals like over the next 2 hours. So expect a video in an hour and another video an hour from there. Lots of cards to go over. All the reveals end tomorrow too. So lots of stuff to talk about. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.